I'm Ashley Dvorkin with Fox 411 movie reviewer Justin Craig, and it is time to go back to a galaxy far, far away as we have your Fox 411 big screen on Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So Justin, start with that story, what you can share.
Okay, so this takes place right before Star Wars, 1977 Star Wars, A New Hope. And it's about Jyn Erso. She is played by Felicity Jones. She just won an Oscar a couple years ago. And she is a disillusioned child from the Empire. Her father is the guy who created, he's the architect of the Death Star from the first Star Wars movie. And the film opens with him being kind of whisked away to go build the Death Star, and she is left almost not orphaned because he's still alive, but she's left stranded alone, and she grows up alone and eventually meets up with the Rebel Alliance, and they use her to go get her father and steal the plans from the Death Star that will eventually be given to Luke Skywalker and Han Solo so they can go blow up the Death Star in 1977.
Okay, so this is sort of a prequel and a standalone.
Right, it's a completely standalone film. So you're not going to find, well, there are some characters from the other films in there. I don't want to give too much away about that, but mostly it's a standalone film with all new characters and all new planets. And it's a completely fresh story. It actually harkens back, I think, to more traditional classic Hollywood war films like Guns of Navarone or even Saving Private Ryan. It follows that formula more so than the traditional Star Wars formula, which is more based in, like, you know, the familial drama going on with Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader and all that. So this is a straight-up action movie, and there are some really great, fantastic action sequences in this that I think rival all the other Star Wars movies. You'll see some nostalgia plays a little bit in here. You'll see some action scenes that are somewhat reminiscent of, like, Return of the Jedi or even Empire Strikes Back. But there's other action sequences in here that are just straight out of classic war films, and it is just so cool to see in a Star Wars movie.
Okay, so that sort of is how it compares visually. What about tone-wise? A little darker?
Well, it's definitely darker. It's definitely more violent than most other Star Wars movies because it is a war film, and I mean, there's a battle going on, and a lot of people get killed on both sides. And they don't really hold back. Gareth Edwards is the director here. He directed Godzilla a couple of years ago, and he actually doesn't really hold back. He really jumps right into the kind of the horror of war. Within this, you know, this is still PG-13, so it's not like Saving Private Ryan, gory, bloody, or like Hacksaw Ridge where you want to vomit when you're watching. No, this is Star Wars still. It is still Star Wars. But it's definitely darker in tone. You'll notice that right away. It's definitely not for the little kids who are, you know, watching Star Wars Rebels at home or the animated things. This is definitely for a little bit more of a teenage audience.
Good to know. And then I know you said there's a lot of new characters.
Right.
So a standout star from this film, who would you say really stood out?
Well, there's a number. Okay, so you've got Felicity Jones as Jyn Erso. She's really good. It takes a while, I think, for her to connect with an audience. Unlike Daisy Ridley in The Force Awakens last year, I mean, immediately just loved her. Here, it took a long time, almost a third of the film, before I started to, like, care about her. But the other characters in it are too. So she's got, like a war movie, she's got a band of brothers with her. And each character is well developed, and they all bring their own personality here, and they're all really good. So you have Diego Luna, you have Alan Tudyk. He actually is the robot here, and kind of like C-3PO, but he's kind of like a jerk. I mean, he has some really great lines in there, and he's just a miserable SOB throughout this whole movie, and that adds a lot of comedy to the film. Then you have on the villain side, I mean, no Star Wars film is complete without great villains, and Ben Mendelsohn, who's actually a fantastic actor, he's your lead villain here. He's the one that's kind of overseeing this whole project of building the Death Star. And he's just this sleazy, slimy guy, and he just does such a fantastic job. But then you're going to bring in some older characters, too, which might actually upsets. I don't know. It didn't upset me, but I could see how this could upset other people. Grand Moff Tarkin, who's the villain in the original Star Wars, played by Peter Cushing. Peter Cushing's been dead for like 20 years, more than that, I think. And they CGI'd his face over the actor playing that character. And it's a little upsetting. It takes some getting used to. But then once it goes along, you kind of just start to go with it. Now, I don't know how that's going to age with the film. I don't know if diehard fans will appreciate that or be angry with that.
Well,
but then we
they'll
also
share.
have,
They'll let us know.
also have, of course, Darth Vader. You see him in the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler.
Okay.
He's there, and he's back to his good old being vicious and evil. So he's no longer that putsy, Darth Vader that we got used to in those prequel movies. But he's back, and it's great to see him.
It's good. It's exciting. Okay, well then overall, and yes, I'm going for it. The Force is strong with this one?
Oh, God, yeah. This is going to just sweep the box office, and I think it fits very nicely in with the rest of the Star Wars films. So I loved it. I thought it was great. I had, some moderate expectations. I wasn't expecting, a home run. I wasn't expecting it to be terrible either, but I was pleasantly surprised. I thought this was a great film.
Okay, and yes, it is sure to do very well at the box office. Star Wars The Force Awakens last year surpassed the $2 billion mark. So, thank you so much, Justin. And read Justin's full review of Rogue One, a Star Wars story on fox411.com today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ashley Dvorkin.